All right, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I hope you guys didn't gamble on CPI. That CPI candle is nasty. Wait, what am I doing? All right, yeah. On the daily time frame, it just looks like we are moving sideways. On the 4 hour time frame, same thing. We got this 4 hour demand zone down here, which I think could be a good target if I do short today. Um, This was a really good 4 hour supply zone as well, but it just looks like we were chopping on it. Yeah. Oh, this happened yesterday. We chopped on it a lot. A lot. So I won't mark this zone. On the 3 hour time frame, I don't see too much. I mean, this was a good 30-minute supply zone, but it got chopped on, so I won't mark it. Okay, here we go. This is a good 2 hour supply zone. This is a good 2 hour demand zone. And down to the 1 hour time frame. Don't see too much. I really want to find a zone somewhere in this area. That's really what I'm looking for. Bless you. I don't know if she heard that. Um, yeah, I don't see any zones on this time frame either. Also, guys, I just woke up 20 minutes ago, which I normally don't. Usually I wake up like about an hour ago. So I woke up pretty late today, so I didn't have time to do my hair and stuff. So I had to throw on a hat. Yeah, I saw the time and I was like, oh my god. All right, I mean, I guess this could be good 45-minute demand zone. It does look like price bounced off of it recently, which is good. I do like that. I do like that. I do like how the market bounced off of it. Doesn't mean I expect another bounce. It's just it shows it's definitely an area of interest. Down to the 30-minute time frame. Okay, this looks like a 30-minute time frame. Yeah, it aligns better as well. And I don't see nothing. There's really not much that's close to price, at least. Wow, I can hear the birds. That's how you know it's starting to get warm outside. When you start hearing the birds outside in the morning. All right, these look like small 15-minute supply zones. 15-minute. Oh, this is the zone that I was looking at yesterday as well. This 15-minute demand zone, which we bounced off of yesterday This is where I was looking at yesterday to take a trade. And you can see we never really touched up on it. Unless you mark the zone with the wicks, then maybe. But even doing it that way, it really didn't touch up over here. If it did, I would have taken the longs probably, but it didn't. It never touched up over here, which is fine. We'll see what today gives us. It's been a rough week so far. Monday and Tuesday were pretty choppy openings, and the moves happened later on. So I'm thinking with today with CPI, hopefully we get a better opening since that news came out. And honestly, this isn't a normal CPI candle. Usually, CPI candle is like way bigger and it doesn't have this big of a wick, at least on NASDAQ. Okay. All right. I think that's all the zones for NASDAQ. I'm thinking if price gets below the 900s, if it closes below that, I would take shorts around this area. And I know myself, right? I know I would usually target around 100 points. So if I'm in this short, I would hope that we break past this 15-minute demand zone. Let's say I miss out on the short, then I would take it down here as well if it does close below that area. Another trade idea could be longs from this area as well, which which there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with taking this trade. But I will say, with taking this trade, it would be a trade that basically I'd be betting for a for the market to go back in its range. I'd be betting for the opposite of a breakout, which has been happening a lot this week. Um, so the only way I would take a breakout trade, the only way I would take shorts is only if there's good volume, right? It has to happen pretty quick, pretty quick. And then I'm thinking if the market starts closing below 854, I do think it will go down to 640s down here. All right, and then for the upside, I would take longs on this 30-minute zone, maybe on this 15-minute zone. We'll see. And then obviously if price gets above 0.68, the zone here, that I would take longs. And I would expect longs to continue to all the way up here to this 2 hour demand zone at 149, or even this small 15-minute zone, which, yeah, that wouldn't be that big of a trade. So I would target. I would want the market to break past this small zone. All right, but I think that was it. Looking at the market right now, it does not look the best. It looks like we're pretty choppy on VWAP. Um, it looks like there is decent volume overnight, which is good. And then I saw what, Asian highs, London highs. Oh, London highs got taken. So I don't know. Maybe that's bullish. Who knows? Maybe if I take longs, right? Asian highs could be a good target. That's not something I really look at. Let's look at US 30. And also something that I was looking at was if you zoom out, for example, on the 1 minute, or sorry, the 1 hour time frame, we really haven't seen a pullback, right? We've been going straight up and then we've been moving sideways. So I'm hoping with CPI that I'm getting too delusional with the shorts. I'm like thinking about the shorts too much. But I was just saying, I'm hoping we do see a pullback. Um, but let me not create a bias because I'm not good at trading with a bias. So let me let me chill out. Let me chill out. Okay, on US 30, US 30. We have a couple 4-hour zones. This 4-hour demand zone over here. Oh, we did get a bounce off of this as well. So that's good. I feel like I saw that yesterday. Probably did. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't trade yesterday because even if I waited for the market to touch up on a zone, it would have chopped up at the zone. So I would have gotten chopped up either way. So I really don't know how to trade choppy markets. So I'm glad I didn't take a trade yesterday or Monday. Okay, I'm not seeing any zones. I mean this could be 3 hour supply zone. It's just far away from price. Alright, there we go. This is a good 2 hour demand zone. It looks like the same one as NASDAQ. On the 1 hour time frame, I see a couple zones. This looks like a good 1 hour supply zone. This also kind of looks like a good 1 hour supply zone. I mean, it's not the best, but I do like the move down and the basing candle. This here looks like a good demand zone. The only thing wrong with it is that it does look like, yeah, the market kind of chopped up on it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the zone there. If I find a better one, then I'll probably mark that one. Oh, this here is also a good 1 hour supply zone. We see a good rejection off of it. All right, on the 90-minute time frame, let's see. Don't see too much. This is a good 30-minute demand zone. I mean, it's very tiny and it's far away from price. I do think if the shorts come in, this is going to be a good target down here. All right, I don't have any zones that is below price. This looks like a 10-minute supply zone, but it looks really weird. Oh, it's that CPI candle. That's why it looks weird. Oh, this looks like a better zone. It's 30, 10 minute, 10 minute. Oof. Yes, that's way better. All right. I'm thinking if US 30 gets below 504, if it closes below that, I do think it'd be a good short. If I take it, the trade would be something like this. Very in and out, very quick. Um, I do think if this short comes in, I do think it'll go down to 166, 170 around here. And that's a pretty big move. But I only need, let's just say 150 points. Okay. Yeah, I wanna start. I don't want to say I want to stop taking 1 to 2s because it's like the bread and butter, but I do want to start taking like a 1 to 3, maybe a 1 to 4, if the trade makes sense. So I do think if I do that, it'll be easier to get the payout just by having a bigger winning day than my usual losing day. But we'll see. I also don't want to force anything, and also I don't think I'd hold it for a 1 to 3 or a 1 to 4 unless the market is really volatile, right? Unless it's a really quick trade, then I'd hold it. All right, let's do support and resistance. We got 10 more minutes for the market to open. Do you know why, when we are copy trading for evals, why they never are the same amount in our following accounts? I mean, it might be because of slippage. Sometimes other accounts get filled before other accounts. Your bias on NQ? I mean, I really don't have one. I want to say that I'm bearish on it, but I don't have a reason to be bearish. I just want the shorts to come in. Plus, I'm not good at creating biases, like I said. Um, my experience with creating a bias is just I'll create it, and then even if the market tells me something else, I'll like still stick to it. So I get delusional with the bias. That's why I don't create one. I just rather read the market instead. You don't trade ES? No, I don't. I don't. I don't think I've ever traded ES. Like not even on an eval. It's just always been Nasdaq. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll trade ES. I mean, at one point in my trading, I was just trading Nasdaq, and like I didn't think I'd trade anything else. But then I started trading US 30 because Nasdaq was way too choppy for too long, and it worked out. Don't get me wrong, US 30 has its days, but sometimes Nasdaq is choppy and US 30 is fine. Sometimes. Recently, they've both been bad. I've been seeing a lot of videos and I guess reels and posts on Twitter that the market is really bullish because of, I think it was because of something Trump said. So let's see if we have a bullish day. Also, I mean, if we zoom out, I could see two things happening, right? I could see either we break this support here, we go all the way down here, or we just touch up down here and then we bounce and just come back inside of this huge range. So either way, I'm fine with it. It's just I hope it comes out clean. recently, recently it's been tough. But yeah, I haven't taken a trade this whole week, so I don't know. I feel kind of rusty, but how hard could it be, right? It's either buy or sell. And then if you're wrong, you're wrong. You wait for the next day. It's also Wednesday. I've realized this year Wednesday has been pretty good to me. It hasn't been horrible, but I have noticed weird price action on Wednesdays. What do you see today? I think it's too early to tell. Too early. I want to see it open. For me, it's too early to tell because I'm not good at like predicting the market. Like before market open. I'm good at predicting like a very small move. You know, but yeah, I think the market looks good today. I think there's really good zones. The only thing with Nasdaq is I'm really hoping Nasdaq does not stay around VWAP. We've seen it a lot this week where market opens up and then it stays around VWAP for like literally an hour and then it moves away from it. But yeah, I don't want to see that today. I want to see I want to see it with good volume and with good direction. Predicting small movements made 80K for you. Excellent. Yeah, like you don't need to predict a huge move to make money with trading. You just need to predict a certain move consistently. Like for me, I predict it's not even predict, right? I just read the market at the same time every day. So I catch the same moves almost every day. Everything is consistent, right? The entries, the exits, the trades, the sizing, and then with that consistency over time, you make money. Where's VWAP here? Okay. We got 3 more minutes for market to open. We'll see. Like I said, if NASDAQ closes above 0.68, I do think it'd be a good long up to 148. We'll see how the market opens up though. Because right now we're chopping up on VWAP and we've been doing it for a while. Also, I'm thinking this whole area here is going to be a no trade zone. I don't want to take a trade inside of this area unless it's up here or down here. Also, a really good hint to know if it's going to be a good market is the first 15-minute candle. If the first 15-minute candle closes outside of this pre market range, then it's a good sign for a good market. If you look at the past couple of days, that first 15-minute candle has been closing within a pre market range. Do we have any more news today? Okay, no, not really. I mean, it says 10:30 news, but I don't think that matters. I don't understand the lines. There's just support resistance on the 1 hour. I don't use the white lines to take the trades. I use them more as confluence for like when I'm in a trade or when I'm about to go in a trade. I really only focus on the gray zones. All right, 30 seconds. US 30 looks like it's about to close, or sorry, it looks like it's about to open on this 10-minute supply zone. So I probably won't be taking a trade off of the zone. If it has a reaction off of it, it's going to happen too quickly. All right, I'm looking more at NASDAQ since it tapped this 15-minute supply zone. I might miss out on the move if it closes out too strong. I need to see at least that first 1 minute candle close. Let's see if it closes above 68. I'm going to take the longs. Yeah, if it breaks the highs, I'm going to go in long. I want to see it bounce here. All right, if it breaks the highs on this candle, I do think it'd be good. And okay, never mind. It does not look like it's gonna break the highs unless it closes above 68 again. Let's see. Uh, Not the best candle close. I'm gonna still leave the order in though. I still like it. All right, I'm in a long here on Nasdaq. I'm gonna put my stop at 62. I do like the stop loss. I think if I get stopped out on this, it's gonna reverse. So I do like the stop loss. I'm gonna try to target 148, which is this 2 hour supply zone up here. US 30 is struggling to make a move, which is not a good sign. Not a good sign. This is the last 1 minute of the 5 minute candle. So I really want to see this 5 minute candle close above 68. We'll see if that happens. It does look like it's struggling to get past this white line here. All right, I do like this 5 minute candle close. I do like how I closed above 68. Damn, it's struggling to get past this white line. That is not a good sign at all. I want to see at least a 1 minute candle close above 86, and it's really struggling to do that. Well, let's see if this candle closes good. Yeah, I'll probably get stopped on this. I'm not seeing what I'd want to see. Let's see. Let's see if the buyers are strong enough here to close above 89. That's really what I want to see. Right now, it's struggling to get past that white line, which is not a good sign. But we have 2 more minutes on the 5 minute candle, so that's my only hope, really. Okay, and okay, good. That was a good candle close. Let's see if it continues right around 118, 117, which we were pretty close to, is a strong 15-minute supply zone. So once we touch up on 117, I'd probably go break even if we get up there. If we get up there, let's see. All right, this is the last minute of the 5 minute candle. So I don't want to see it, come back down and create a huge wick this last minute. I don't want to see that. I feel like the last minute of the 5 minute candle is always the most important one. All right, I do like this candle close. It closed above 89, which is a good sign. Now it really just it needs to get above 118 in order for this to hit take profit. Like I said, around 118, 117, there's a really small 15-minute supply zone. So I'll probably break even once we tap that area. Plus, I'll be up a 1 to 1 if we get up there. I mean, I definitely don't like how the 1 minute candlesticks look. The 1 minute time frame looks rough, but I do like the 5 minute candle time frame so far. How big is this opening range? Damn, the opening range is pretty small. At least so far. Also, US 30's kind of going down, um, which is also not that good for Nasdaq buys. But I'm looking at Nasdaq, so let's just focus on Nasdaq. But yeah, usually on a really good trade, you'll see US 30 and Nasdaq kind of looking the same. I'm not seeing that today, but we'll see if it plays out. And we were almost at that zone there. Yeah, I also think in order for this trade to really play out, the opening range has to break out like pretty early on. Oof. We got one more minute, 30 seconds for this 15-minute candle to close. I mean, I think if the 15-minute candle closes above 68, I mean, I think it'd be good. We'll see. All right, here's the last minute. Damn. All right, I'm stopped out of that. Oh, what a tough market. What a tough market. Yeah, I don't even know if I trade Nasdaq after that. Is crazy choppy, crazy. I mean, US 30 is right at this 10-minute zone. Let's see. Bro, this shit bounce. Nasdaq just looks like it wicked me out. I'm looking at US 30 though. I think it's moving a bit more cleaner. Yeah, I'm thinking if US 30 gets above 551, I think it'd be a good short. I mean, what? Good long. The only way I'd take shorts is if a 1 minute candle closes below 507, which it hasn't done yet. Um, but it might do. Let's see. All right, 5 more seconds for this candle close. It's closing out pretty bearish. All right, I'm in a short on US 30. I'm gonna put my stop at above this 1 minute wick here at 516. And then I'm gonna try to target all the way down here at 173. Let's see. Let's go for 160 points. We'll see. Depending on how this drops, I might aim for 200 points. We'll see though. It needs to play out quick. I like where the stop loss is. I do think if I get stopped out, I was wrong on the direction. Either I was wrong on the direction or it's just choppy. But the opening range already broke out on US 30, which is good. We already have a 5 minute candle that closed outside of the opening range. NASDAQ is right at VWAP, which is good for us because we're on a short on US 30. So now things are kind of aligning. Unless NASDAQ bounces off at VWAP, then that'd be tough. But if we rip right past it, it'd be a good sign for US 30 shorts. Damn, this trade might take a while. Unless we get some volume at 10. Alright, this looks like it's about to retest the zone. I would like to see it reject this zone and then come back down. I do like where the stop loss is. Obviously, I would like to let it breathe, but at that point, I'd be risking too much. Fuck, dude. What? Oh my god, I'm fucking pissed. Yo. Oh my god, this shit is like what? I should have known from the CPI candle. Oh my gosh. It's my biggest red day. Fuck. I guess it comes with your biggest green day. I just had my biggest green day a while ago. Damn. This is fucking annoying. That's what it is. Is bullshit because it's just like what's going on, and it bounced right off VWAP as well. I said if it bounced off VWAP, most likely gonna lose it. I definitely wanted to see Nasdaq break past VWAP, but no, that did not happen. Did I miss anything? Like this shit is playing out weird. I don't know. That's tough. That is really tough. I mean, I do think US 30 looks more bearish than Nasdaq, but on Nasdaq, there's really low volume. I mean, the opening range isn't even 100 points like how it usually is. I should have, could have, would have, should have, could have, would have. That's tough. That's tough. Let me journal these losses and fucking and leave the charts because I'm definitely annoyed. You can't really do much though. It's also not surprising. I mean, the week has been it's been a bad week. It's been a bad week. I mean, the week's not over, but shit, it's been bad. Where's my thing? Okay, that's tough. That's tough. What? So I took longs on Nasdaq, like I usually do. Saw 1 minute candle close. So 1 minute candle close above a 15-minute zone. That's why I took the longs. So I got chopped. Then I looked at US 30 and I was like, damn, it's moving pretty clean. Let me try it out. Gosh, I think the dogs are playing around up here. I don't know if you guys hear them. But yeah, I saw US 30 kind of moving cleaner. So I was like, you know what? This looks like a good short. I mean, I still do think it looks like a good short, but it's also is also playing around. So it's just I don't know. It's not like I'm gonna take another trade, but even if I could take another trade, I'm not sure I would. Closed. Let's see what I could have done better. I mean, I don't know. The only trade that I really saw playing out was probably shorts on US 30, which I definitely could have taken, but I was already in longs on NASDAQ. So the only way I would have taken this trade is really only if I didn't trade on NASDAQ. And it would have played out pretty well. But I wasn't looking at that. And I was like, yeah, this shit about to continue lower. Nope. And then on NASDAQ, I don't know what trade I would have taken, right? So I was expecting the market to touch up on this area. It barely just touched up on it. So I didn't break even. So I was waiting for it to touch up on the zone. Now that I measure it though, I was exactly up a 1 to 1. So I could have broken even on that first trade if it went up a little bit higher. But damn, tough day. And then a clean bounce off of VWAP. That's like the only clean thing I see. And then now it's reversing. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I think US 30 shorts were the play, and I could have taken it for sure. But I was looking at NASDAQ. That's tough. That really is. Is also I think this is my biggest red day. Let's see. It has to be. It's like 12,000. Let's see. Oh, it hasn't loaded up. What the heck? All right, it's not loaded up, but let me do the math. I'm pretty sure it's like 12,000. And now this shit wants to go up. Oh my goodness. At 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. Okay. That's crazy. There's not even high impact 10 a.m. news. Wow. Okay. I don't know what to say. I lost, yeah, 12.6 thousand in total. That's disgusting. Especially after seeing this. Now it looks like the volume's actually kicking in. Like this is the shit that makes me want to FOMO into a trade. This is what makes me want to break rule, cuz it's like it's annoying. I'm a just I'm gonna call it. I have to call it a day. I can't keep trading. If I keep trading, bro, I I'd get pretty close to blowing the accounts. I don't have too much in drawdown. That's the thing. So I really got to be picky with the trades. Don't till I blow an account today, so I feel you. Yeah, it's not worth it. You remind me so much of Young Miko. You know that artist? Of course I do. I don't know why I remind you of her. That's funny. Yeah, we listened to a lot of Young Miko. Why you lost more than 500? Because on both trades, I risked a little bit more than 250, especially on US 30. US 30, I usually risk 50 points. In today's case, I decided to risk 63 points. Because I thought it would be a good stop loss, but no, no, it wasn't. I mean, I guess it was right. I was wrong on the direction. And then same thing with Nasdaq. I risked a little bit more than 100 ticks. So I lost like 300 on that first trade. Yeah, now it looks really volatile. Like now these 1 minute candlesticks are huge, which is nasty. I wish this volume was there at market open. I guess that's the fucking pattern of this month. You get a slow ass choppy opening and then volume kicks in after that. So maybe I should take notes. And tomorrow, I don't know. It's a tough market, so you can't be too mad. Can't be too mad at yourself. Like I can't be too mad because these are usually trades I would take. Yeah, both trades. I would take the trades over and over again. Like especially Nasdaq. I really thought Nasdaq would have played out, but it did not. It did not. Nope. All right, well, it's already 10 a.m. Um I've already took two losses. I already got chopped up. There's I already journaled. There's not much for me to do, and I'm about to go out for breakfast. So I'm definitely annoyed. I'm really annoyed. So I just have to leave. I have to leave. Take my mind off of it. I can't dwell on the losses too much. But yeah. I hope you guys didn't get chopped up. I hope you guys caught a really good trade. But it is a tough market. So if you lost, just be patient for tomorrow. It's been a really hard week, right? Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Both choppy openings. I will say today looks a bit more better. It does look like 10 a.m. brought in some volume, which is good. But if you look at NASDAQ and US 30, it's mostly moving sideways. There's really no trend, at least not yet. At least not yet. Especially on US 30. It's definitely moving sideways. We're back inside of the opening range. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to move sideways for the rest of the day. I'm just saying if it picks a direction, it might take longer to play out. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow will be better. I have to keep in mind as well, last year my statistics when it came to Wednesdays were really bad. Last year Wednesdays were my least profitable day. This year's been a bit different, but it's also just the third month of the year. So I think it is too early to tell. But we'll see. Thursdays usually play out pretty good. And also, it's just like if we have 3 days where the opening is choppy, hopefully the fourth day is not a choppy opening. Hopefully it's not. But we'll see. I'll see you guys tomorrow.